Emiru bomb?
I didn't miss anything, so... Yeah. So yeah.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Guys, people have been saying this is
I think
like a
everyone
nuke.
knows about last week, the stuff that happened at TwitchCon. I was assaulted, and the guy was able to...
Love you.
Leave the venue, basically. Okay, so, like, intro first thing that I want to talk about is, I did see the, Twitch tweet that I believe went out yesterday. I was literally in a Discord call with my friends, and they were like, did you see that Twitch apologized to you? And I was like, wait, what? So, yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is, they put out that tweet. I was never apologized to privately. They put that out without, like, consulting me or anything. I didn't know that they were gonna do that, so that was, yeah. I mean, I'm glad that, you know, they're trying to, like, take some level of accountability, but there's a lot of things that they didn't mention in the tweet that I feel like should have been mentioned. But anyway, more stuff's been happening.
Yeah, there's kind of liability, but, I mean...
So, I want to say
to do
that last week, everything I said on my stream was accurate, obviously, except for one thing. I was wrong about one thing.
Oh.
I was going over the tweet that Twitch initially put out, where they're like, oh yeah, this thing happened to a high-profile creator, you know, police were on site, we're cooperating with law enforcement investigations. What I was wrong about was, they were not cooperating with law enforcement investigations. I found that out on Monday when I got a phone call from the San Diego police, and they were talking to me, and they basically said, hey, we can't really do anything right now because they apparently know the name of the guy, but they're not giving it to us until a warrant goes through, which, if you know anything about that stuff, it usually takes a while. Even, you know, if it's expedited, which it was being expedited for me, but it still takes a lot of time. And they're like, yeah, they're refusing to give us the name, which, as far as I'm aware, is like a very common company thing, where they'll be, you know, they don't want to give
them or whatever
names of potential people involved in crimes, because then, like, that person could maybe, like, sue them for giving their name to police. I don't know, something like that. That's what my lawyer said.
Oh, they didn't want to transfer the username to real name.
Twitch was trying to make sure that the guy that assaulted me didn't sue them, which meant that the police were not able to work.
That doesn't seem...
on the case right away. So, yeah, I got a call about that on, I believe it was Monday.
But the police is asking, though.
The San Diego police, they were like, yeah, we're working on the warrant, but, like, right now, that's, like, all we can really do, but, like, we're trying our best. Just, like,
if the police is asking,
keep in the loop and everything.
Is it not fine to do that?
I was very frustrated because I was like, damn, like, I didn't know that on Saturday. I would have said that if I knew. And then, I believe it was the next day, there was someone who, I don't know if they were a viewer or if they were just someone who, like, knew of the situation from social media. They contacted my manager, and they basically told her that at their place of work, someone came into their work who matched the description of the guy, and this person was saying, like, oh, I'm, you know, traveling to Texas, and I caused, like, quite a stir at a TwitchCon, and this person, like, you know, reached out to my manager, reached out to police, San Diego police interviewed them. But basically what I'm trying to say is, because all this stuff was delayed, this guy was able to get really far away from San Diego, allegedly, and this whole time my manager was, like, basically, like, begging Twitch, like, dude, like, please give us his name, like, we don't know who this person is.
Is that where he's
like,
based
for
out
all
of,
we
or is he
know,
following
he,
her?
like,
What?
lives around where Emmy and her roommates live. Like, I can't, like, help her if, like, I don't know who this person is, and they were refusing to do it. But, after that tip from the person who said that the guy came into their workplace and was talking to him, my manager, demanded the info from Twitch. So they did end up giving it to police, but not my manager, as far as I know. She still doesn't. Yeah. So, the investigation's still going on, but
that
it's
part makes
like
sense.
been a huge mess because of all of the delays and like refusal to work with the police. And yeah, it's ongoing. I can't like say too much
I
about
don't know
it.
the
Like,
legality
all
of
this
it.
that I'm saying, obviously,
You need to get a lawyer
my lawyer and stuff.
so you understand it.
And I do want you guys to know that Melissa has been making sure
Drama
that
farming lol.
you know, me and my
No,
roommates,
stop it.
who are obviously other pretty well-known girl streamers, that we have been safe here, paying
I'm
for
this,
like
annoying.
security stuff, making sure we're protected. Again, my manager's been taking care of that all of her own. Twitch did not offer anything like that. And yeah, that's where it is right now, pretty much. I can't say like too much about what, you know, me and my lawyer are doing.
I don't know why
but,
Twitch is so hands off. Looking into all this,
my hope is really that there's some kind of like
when being hands on
public
doesn't
resolutions that people who like have seen this and like know about everything that's happened
make them
can
liable
feel
for anything.
better about it. Because like I said, I don't feel like it's just about me. Like it could have been anyone that it happened to, like a small streamer who's not as lucky to have the resources or like
True.
you know, the reach that I have.
True.
So it's very scary and yeah, just very, very frustrating.
Guys, some of this stuff happens to like smaller people that don't have a big voice.
And yeah,
or the money
I don't know where
to
that's gonna go.
the recourse.
I'm
So
sure
the fact that it has
that,
happened
you
to a
know,
big
they're
person
probably, I would speculate, not very happy
still
with
get
me
treated
for
badly
talking
is
about all
horrible.
this, but I feel like it's not fair to keep it hidden from all the people
It
who
shows that
literally had to
systematic.
witness it because of Twitter and Reddit and all these things. I mean, I'm not complaining about that, obviously. You guys know I was super grateful that the guy posted it, got, you know, spread around so that I didn't have to figure out how to talk about it myself. But yeah, I'm just
Yo, be
It's
nice,
a
man.
lot. It's been,
You just need to be nice. You need to chill out, man.
really heavy this week.
Jeez, I'm trying to
but
watch this shit, man.
obviously, I've been getting a lot of support from my friends and other streamers, and obviously my manager, the people that I work with, my employees and such. But yeah, I don't want to just let this be a thing that I think that they're hoping it just blows over and gets like swept under the rug. I'm not gonna, you know, go live every stream and complain about it like, oh, you know, I got done dirty. I'm not gonna do that.
But
But
this
I'm gonna
is awful,
try
by the way.
to the best of my ability, keep you guys updated until there's like some kind of
Like these video
resolution,
stalkers,
you know,
like
so.
there's almost nothing they can do about it. Now we changed state,
Yeah,
and now that's a whole new thing.
pretty
Like it's like I'm all nearly immune.
pretty heavy, intense stuff. Yeah, it's been. Sorry, I'm just looping myself now. But yeah, I would hate if like this kind of just went away and people were like, oh, what happened? You know, I don't know. You know, am I gonna go to TwitchCon next year and, you know, like if something happens to me, it's gonna, you know, they're gonna try to hide it, basically.
What? Jesus.
Yeah. So there's that.
Yo, I don't know what she has currently set up, but she should have
Give me a second.
she should have like 2 full
I have
armed
some more
guards
stuff I wanna
team
talk about, but
on
I'm
rotation for at
trying
least
to
the next few
not,
months. Like, come on, bro.
Rush myself because I'm trying my best to like, you know,
Of
stay
course,
composed
armed.
to
Are
the
you
best
kidding
of my
me? For
ability.
sure.
So that I can get to the information across accurately. Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you
People
for,
glad.
It's not that
rose
expensive.
emoji.
you know, support and stuff. Like, honestly, it's been shocking to me because,
I mean, it says you. It
I
says
don't
you.
know. I guess, like,
Well, I mean, it
whenever
says you.
things happen, I always just kind of expect the bare minimum outcome, if that makes sense.
But I got my shit built like a
So,
fucking honeycombed rust base, little buddy.
Yeah, I've just been very, very thankful.
Wash your feet.
Very thankful and very grateful, and I hope that, you know, whatever comes out of this makes other people feel better. But regardless, like I said, I'm done with going to TwitchCon. probably done entirely with convention streams. I feel like it's just
Well,
time, you know. And I think that's probably true for a lot of streamers.
I think
The climate has, you know, really changed.
women and medium to big streamers.
I've been on Twitch for 10 years, like, you know, I keep fucking repeating myself.
Medium to big women streamers.
And yeah,
shouldn't,
it's,
and very big
it's
overall streamers,
changed a lot,
men
gone
or women or
pretty
whatever.
big, and I think
shouldn't do
that's
it either.
just, you know, the reality that you have to accept.
I'm not trying to be weird, but. Yeah.
But, you know, maybe it's not a bad thing, because, you know, can go
Because
back
it's too parasocial of a world of an industry.
rotting playing games in your room. It's not
I
so
still
bad,
do it because
right?
my viewers are
Retirement?
autists. They're kind of harmless,
No.
so we're chilling.
Not retirement. Definitely not. Because I'm the kind of person, I'll never give up. You're not going to make me give up. So.
Yo, I got lucky. My mini group was the day after this, so I had 2 police next to me. That they weren't next to me. They were like in between the line and my booth.
Fortunately, I'm not done yet. Like I said.
They were strapped with the Glock. They
Just
were.
give me a bit. Was worried you were gonna quit? No. And I don't think I'm gonna go to any other platforms because
Come to kick
first
it.
of all, where would I go?
Well,
And
dude.
second of all,
Guys, I mean-
really think that, you know, this is something that was just, I mean, this is just me, you know, being optimistic, but I feel like it was just a case of, like, you know, we didn't realize that these things could happen, and we obviously don't want them to happen, and, like, you know, things will be better, and I mean, I'm not gonna leave you guys because of, you know, something that someone else did. I mean, yeah, there's like other places that, you know, I upload content, but Twitch is like really my home. That's why, through all of this, I feel like most people, you know, I mean, I did make a tweet, but like it was probably like 10% of what I needed to say. A lot of people make a tweet, make a YouTube video. That's why I've chosen to do all of this.
Well, if she did all that, people would say she's
live,
farming, so I
like,
think she did fine.
raw, because,
non-biased. I'm not trying to be a
It's
glazer,
just what
but
I'm most comfortable with and what I've always done. So.
if she wanted to farm,
Yeah,
she could have farmed
sorry,
it.
my like emotional voice is so
Like
ugly.
really farmed it. I know what I'm saying. He said, "Well, what about this?" Well, I mean, there's a middle
Yeah.
ground somewhere, buddy.
I don't know. It's just crazy. I just never thought things like this would happen, or I'd ever be doing a stream like this. It just feels very strange because it's just very out of my element. I've never really, like, for the most part, commented on drama or like self-inserted in situations, but I guess in this situation I'm kind of like stuck in the middle of it against my will. So it's like if I don't do it, who else is gonna do it? I'm just gonna take a second. Sorry, I've said that like 4 times, but
You guys, I swear to you guys, I'm not trying to farm drama or anything like that, guys.
it's a lot.
But Asmund did say there was a
Streams, me
possible
too,
nuke.
man. Bro, like I could have come home.
Asmund said that
I
there was
could've
gonna be a
worked on
hydrogen
beating
bomb about to be dropped somewhere.
Clint's fucking mega bonk scores. Now look what I have to do. So fucking annoying. I had to cancel my plans. Which reminds me, I
Play ball like spit.
don't think there's gonna be a Halloween stream this year.
Really?
I
Fuck!
think that's
Fuck! This
realistic
fucking stalker, fuck
with,
you! I am
the
so
vibes of things
mad.
right now. But I mean, is anyone gonna be mad at me if I do like, you know, like a Halloween in November thing?
Pac-Man.
Or I mean, there's always next year, right? I mean, yeah. I mean, things happen outside
Guys,
your control.
it was a lighthearted joke. Relax.
So
It doesn't. Come on, man.
yeah.
Just lighten up the mood. It's just like
It's just crazy, but I mean, thank you guys for listening to me talk and complain. Okay. Yeah, I appreciate it. So, the next thing, at the end of my last stream, I said that when I got home, I would be talking about some other things that I really, really did not want to talk about. But I feel like those things, developing independently of their own from the TwitchCon incident, have gone to a point where I kind of feel like I have no choice. So,
Oh, nah.
I've seen
was that a
lot
document?
of people speculating about what I'm going to be talking about, and some people have been right, but even for the people who were right, they were only like 5 to 10% right.
Page 2.
I don't think I've seen a single person online who knew or understood the severity of what I want to talk about today. And I want everyone to be aware that I've been handling the situation very seriously, and I've spent a lot of time thinking this over. And not only that, I've been in contact with a lawyer. I had them review everything that I'm planning to say today, because I wanted to make sure that if I was going to do this, I was going to do it right, because it's so serious. And I feel like it's going to change things forever. And so
why is she edging it?
today,
Shut up! I'm muting this.
I'm finally going to be opening up about and telling everyone sorry, I swear I'm not trying to like make this dramatic or something. Like I said, I really wish I were not feeling like I had to do this. Just give me some time. I'm gonna be doing a lot of, I guess you could say, like, fourth wall breaking in a way, and talking about things that I thought would always be personal, and just, you know, I would just carry them myself. Today, I'm finally gonna be opening up about the psychological and domestic abuse, stalking and harassment, sexual assault, and threats of blackmail that Mizkif has done towards me, and some of these issues which are still ongoing. For the entirety of this year, I have attempted to separate myself from him and not talk about him at all, and not talk about this issue, and just not make it a public thing. I always tried my best to keep this to myself, but like I said, I feel like it's gone to the point, which I'll explain later, that I feel like it just has to be done. And I have always believed in not condemning people or starting drama online. So I'm sure a lot of people are going to be asking, why am I doing this and why now? And I would like to explain that before I get started so that people understand.
Yeah, people are going to be a bunch of haters
what
for real.
prompted me to do this today.
People are going to say
and
attention
that it's
seeking,
not
blah, blah, blah.
just on a whim or something like that. Okay, so like I said, I took a lot of notes, so forgive me if I just end up reading off my notes.
Jesus, but there's a book in there. There's a book.
The first and probably most severe reason is that one of the rules that I set for myself a long time ago about withholding this information was that if I ever felt like somebody else was in danger or being hurt, I would then make myself speak about it. And 2 weeks ago, actually 3 weeks ago now,
Jesus.
I was informed by 3 separate people, one of whom was present for said incident, that he had done something similar to something that he had done to me. And to someone in LA at the end of September. And this person is not a streamer or content creator, but obviously that does not matter. And because of this, I cannot in good conscience sit here knowing that I know critical information about someone that almost no one else does and not say anything. I think that most issues and dramas should stay private and off the internet. And I still hold that belief to this day, and I will hold that belief going forward. However, there are certain things that cross the line, and I say that the line has been crossed too many times to be count. There's a point where I believe that people deserve to know. I think that at a certain point,
you shut up.
If you know a lot of things about someone and you don't say anything to look out for others, it's wrong. It's wrong to keep it to yourself. I don't want what happened to me or what has happened to other people because of him to happen to other people. And I don't believe he will ever stop behaving the way he does. But regardless, yeah, like I said, one of the main reasons I decided to do this stream is to come out about all of this because I can't hold on to it any longer because it feels wrong to do so. And an honorable mention reason for why I'm doing this is that for a while, he has been indirectly threatening me through my friends and people that I work with. They've informed me that he said that if I ever talked about anything he did, he would try to create a smear campaign against me in retaliation. I was told that he even approached other streamers who were close with us back when we lived together, asking them if they would join with him, and they all refused. At TwitchCon, he approached one of my employees, threatening them and saying if I ever talked about him, he would destroy me. Multiple people have told me that his plan was to claim that I kill animals and that I killed my own rabbits, since I had several of my rabbits pass away over the course of 3 years while I lived with him. I'm sure he's probably listening now, and it's probably going to come as quite a shock to him that this information made its way back to me and that I've known for months. But if you try to threaten me to stay quiet, especially using my poor dead animals, I'm not going to stay quiet. Okay. So now that I've explained all the reasons why this took so long and why I made the decision to do this stream, I have a few more things I would like to get out of the way before I start talking about all of this. The way that I'm gonna do this today is I'm gonna run through everything from the beginning to the end to try to get across the story as accurately and fully as I can. And, hold on. Hold on. I'm also going to be showing a few screenshots validating what I'm saying. I have more things, but this is what I felt comfortable using today. And, I will be running through those later. Another thing that I'd like to mention before I start is that during my statement, I'm going to be mentioning directly the names of about half a dozen other creators who were present for certain things. And I want to say that none of these people did anything wrong. I'm just saying that they were there, and I've asked all of them permission. They all said that it was fine to include their names, but I
had escaped.
I know this won't stop everyone, but I ask people, for the streamers that I mentioned, please don't go bothering them or asking them for more information. If there's something else that they want to say, they'll say it themselves, so there's no point to go pester them and bother them about it.
Not me, don't pester me.
There are also streamers who gave me permission to share things that they relayed to me privately, but asked me to redact their names, which I, of course, did. And the last thing that I want to make clear is that not every person that I interact with or that I'm friends with knew the extent of all of these things. And in fact, most of them didn't. And some of them didn't even know anything at all. I tried to keep things private with my close friends, but if anyone during the past year ever approached me asking questions, I didn't lie and I told them the truth.
You say he's going live? Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't want there to be some kind of witch hunt like, oh, you know, you knew and this, no. A lot of people, you know, didn't know everything or didn't know anything.
Well, I know about a few things, but it's like,
okay.
I think a lot of people know about a few things, but, you know.
Yo.
It's
all
like,
that I have to get out of the way to start
I think you're weird and wrong if somebody tells you something, and you go and tell the public, "Oh, guys, this is happening." Like, you're just a weirdo cloud chaser.
This is public information. I initially moved in. Sorry, I'm still sick, like I said.
XQCL 67.
This is all public, obviously this part. I moved in with him, I believe it was the end of 2021, because he offered. I was living alone at the time, and I was having stalker issues in Kansas, and I mean, you guys know like all the stuff that happened there. I ended up joining the org and everything. We did a lot of streams together. And I mean, a lot of people already know this, but I'm just gonna come out and say it. We started dating. We were in a relationship starting January 2022 after I joined OTK. I'm not planning to go into too much detail about the start of the relationship because it honestly doesn't really matter at this point. It's irrelevant now. The only things that really matter that you guys need to know for the story are that it was, one, an extremely private relationship. It was even hidden from friends and people in the org, but I mean, obviously people all eventually figured it out. They're not fucking stupid. And second, it was an extremely codependent relationship, which it's not the issue, but that's just, you know, making that clear for details.
Guys, there's so much gossip and rumors.
He initially portrayed himself to me as someone who was very nice to girls and wanted to help me feel safe from stalkers and wanted me to succeed as a teammate. And we grew very close over time, and I was very dependent on him for feelings of safety, social life, like my stream, my job, everything. So yeah, besides it being a very codependent relationship, the start of it was fine. I saw a lot of people mentioning this. They thought this was what I was going to talk about. It's not a secret. I think everyone who paid attention knew that he was very controlling over what I wore, to a degree, who I was friends with, and even when I would stream. So when...
Why are you saying true? What? How would you know that?
It was definitely slow over time that bad things started happening. At the start, it would be things like, for example, he would throw bottles, like plastic bottles with liquid in it, not like glass bottles, at me, despite me telling him like I didn't like it and it scared me and I bruised very easily. He would throw his phone at me. I would tell him, you know, it scared me, I don't like it. And one time it even hit me in the eye, which caused me to get a black eye, but he always, you know, was like, oh, it's an accident. And I was like, oh yeah, it's an accident. Like, you know, of course I'm not gonna think that, you know, he's, yeah, I just, at the time, I just kind of was, you know, I just brushed it off. And looking back now, I feel like that was kind of the start of him testing my boundaries, if that makes sense. So that was already kind of starting to show signs within the first 6 months of me and him being close. And then, again, a very public situation.
Guys, don't either downplay it. Like
the end of 2022, the
like
cover-up allegations happened.
throwing shit somebody's never okay, buddy.
I mean, yeah, like I said, all that's public. You can find all that, see like what I said during that, everything. After that happened, his behavior started getting a lot worse, which, I mean, I suppose it makes sense. You know, he was very stressed. A lot of stuff was happening, but the bad behavior was ramping up, and I feel like it's so apparent if, like, you know, you go back and watch anything from that time. I tried so hard to help him and be there for him because I really believed in him, and I wanted him to, you know, get better and get back on his feet and be the person that, you know, I always believed that he was. But that unfortunately did not really happen. For a long time, I think about a year and a half from when that all happened, it was kind of like slow things getting worse, but
Guys,
I mean,
just talk about
honestly,
Mizkif.
I'm
You
not
said it
even
already.
gonna bother going into the details of all of that because there's just too much to cover, and it's honestly kind of not really relevant to the rest of what I'm saying because the rest of what I want to say is a lot worse.
Well,
There was a point where things really took a turn for the worst. Like, it felt like, you know, like a very delicate branch just kind of snapped. So, and again, a lot of people are like vaguely aware of this, but I'll explain it for people who aren't, you know, chronically tapped into all that stuff. So for a long time after the like cover-up allegations happened and he was like starting to kind of struggle on his stream, he never wanted to stream at the same time as me. Like, we really avoided it. And to me at the time it made sense because, you know, I was like, well, of course, like, you know, we share a lot of community members. If we're live at separate times, we're both gonna perform better. You know, it makes sense. But
that's a recipe for disaster.
yeah, we were never really live doing the same thing at the same time for a long time, with the exception of like things like events or sponsors or like, you know, just special things. For a very long time, and a lot of you guys probably noticed that I would only usually stream on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. That was because of him.
I'll explain later why.
And now I stream whenever I want, but the first time that we ever streamed at the same time was for the 2024 Rust Kingdoms event on Twitch. We were sharing drops, so it was the first time in a very long time that we were both going to be live at the same time doing the same thing.
I remember that.
I know you're probably like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? But it'll make sense in a bit. So I'm live, he's live, we're both streaming, and like I said, you can go find all of this. This is public. There are clips of this. We're both streaming the Rust event, and I thought it was going really well. I thought everyone was having fun. I was like, oh, this is great. Everyone's, you know, doing the same thing at the same time. We're all hanging out. You know, we're gonna have fun. Like, I was really, really excited.
Drops events cause chaos all the time.
I start seeing in my chat people start saying unofficial Miz raid, and I'm like, what does that mean? And then I check my Discord messages, and he's messaging me. He's saying like, Emmy, you know, I'm gonna kill myself. I waited, or I'm gonna KMS. I waited so long for this, etc. And
in what year?
basically, he was upset because I had higher viewership than him. That's literally it. I had higher viewership than him. And like I said, this is during an event, so there were drops. Like, everyone knows when there's drops, like, it's not even fucking real, but yeah. He starts messaging me, he's really upset. I tried to tell him, I was like, bro, you should come back and play. Everyone's having fun. Everyone's like wondering where you are. But yeah, he ended his stream. And then I'm still live, you know, trying to act like nothing's wrong. And in that house, I had a glass door so I could like see this was happening. He was walking behind me, making sure that I knew he was there. And by the way, so
wait,
there were many ways out of that house if he wanted to leave the house that were closer to his stream room. He intentionally chose the door that was right by my room.
Oh, the hidden door thing?
I feel like that's pretty apparent, at least to me. He starts walking behind my stream and slamming the door so loud that my noise gate can pick it up. So even people on my stream are able to hear this is happening. And he slams it so hard and so many times that the front door literally broke. The lock did not work anymore. It didn't work for months, and it would just make this horrible sound that I would have to hear like every fucking day. But anyway, so I hear him back there doing this, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I tell my stream, I'm like, hey, guys, I'll be right back. I get up and I go talk to him, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, Emmy, like, I hate all of you guys. Like, all you guys do is just take from me, and like, I'm just done. Like, I'm just done. And I was like, is this like really happening because of rush drops? And he was like, I don't know what else to do. He was like going off on me, like basically saying that he hated me. And I was like, well, I don't know what to do now. And he was like, go finish your stream so that people don't know anything's wrong. And
Guys,
I stop in the bathroom outside my stream room, and I'm like, you know, checking my makeup, trying to make sure people can't tell that I was like crying. And I'm only in there for like 30 seconds, and he comes and like looms in the doorway. He's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm just checking my makeup. So I go back and I stream for a couple hours to finish the stream. Do my best to just like, you know, carry on the show basically. And yeah, after that, like I said, was when things started to get really fucking bad. It was like something just snapped. For the rest of the week, he streamed the Rust event. He got all the drop viewers. I'm sure he was very happy. I mean, good for him.
Yeah, people that have been paying attention, I'm not trying to tackle on
And during
top,
that
but
time,
it's
I
not
obviously
out of
was
character.
like thinking and processing a lot of what happened. But I mean, it was a lot because this person was at the time like kind of it was like my partner and my best friend, and like the only person that like I really talked to ever, or like at least off stream. So I mean, it was just it was a lot.
Yeah,
But
Maya
the very
back then,
next
remember?
stream, I went live about a week after that, and I announced that I was planning to move, because I knew that I would have to move. So I was like, okay, I have to go live and say this so that, you know, kind of force myself to commit to it, right? Does that make sense? Obviously, I didn't move out right away, but after like all of that Rust stuff happened was when the other domestic abuse stuff really started. He would destroy furniture in front of me. He would throw things in front of me and near me. Destroy walls. Again, you can go see this in some of his VODs in his bedroom. The holes in the wall. There would be times where he was upset at me, and I would go to my stream room and literally lock myself in to get away from him, and he would be banging on the door and screaming at me. And at the time, he also would more often do things like going, like if we were driving in the car together, he would be going like 150 miles an hour.
Oh, fuck
and like
that.
one time he even said like, well, now we're both gonna die.
Fuck that.
Like threatening to kill both of us.
Brother, that gave me PTSD, I'm not gonna lie.
This wasn't like even necessarily because of me or like because of something I did a lot of the time. Like one of the times that it happened, it was because we were just getting food, and he was on his phone, and he saw that Mr. Beast had put out a video, and Mr. Beast had invited another streamer, and he was like, oh, Mr. Beast invited this guy to his video, not me. And I was like, oh, well, you know, like, huh, yeah, I guess so. Which led to him going 150 miles per hour in the car and talking about killing himself while doing it. Then at home, other things would happen, like I'd be trying to sleep and he would scream at me and say that it was all my fault that he felt insecure. There was a time that I walked into a room that he was in, And as soon as he saw me there, he threw his phone at the dresser and started yelling because I had posted a YouTube video within the same couple of days as him, and mine was doing better. So basically, I felt like I was kind of stuck in a loop where I felt like I had to constantly perform and like prove my value.
That's awful, I gotta say.
To not be thrown away. But at the same time,
so
if I ever performed too well, I was gonna be punished for it. And it just felt like a very rough situation to be stuck in because, I mean, streaming is my hobby and my job. Like, it's a huge part of my life, even before, you know, I met him and became like a larger creator. And I remember thinking all the time how it felt like he hated me, but he still wanted me around for his channel and like his thumbnails and everything. And this is still before I moved out. There was a time where it was the tension in the house was so unbearable that I would sneak out and I would sneak into Esfan's house using my code. And Esfan didn't know why I was doing this. He saw me a couple times. I'd be like, oh, I'm just gonna go take a nap in your guest room. He'd be like, yeah, that's fine. I would sneak into Esfan's house just to have some time of like peace and quiet. But eventually, he figured out where I was going, and he would go over to Esfan's house to keep telling me off.
She's courageous, because Esfan's house was fucking disgusting.
And there was a time that he did it, and I was laying in the guest room bed, and one of the roommates in that house had come to see like why I was crying, and they were standing in the corner. And he came in, and he was very physically aggressive. He was like, Emmy, like, what are you doing? Like, angry. And then as soon as he turned and saw this other person standing there, he instantly, like, deflated and changed his tone. He was like, oh, Emmy, I was wondering where you were. Like, are you coming home? And that roommate, like, later asked me about it. And they were like, what the fuck was that? Like, are you okay? And I was just like, oh, it's nothing, because I felt like a lot of the reason that I didn't tell the people around me was because I felt like no one would understand, or even if they understood, it would just be a burden to them, because all of our streams and social circles and communities are so intertwined. I was like, maybe it's just better for me to deal with this and like hope things get better, basically. I honestly don't even remember what the final straw was that I finally was like, okay, it's time to go. Like, I prepared the house that I lived in before this one, like, pretty much immediately after the, like, breaking the front door thing happened, but I was still, like, scared and unsure. So I don't remember what the final straw was, but I remember the day I took Cheddar to the house, because he just randomly started, like, screaming at Cheddar. He was like, get that fucking cat out of my house. So I just grabbed Cheddar and put him in my car and grabbed his litter box and took him there. And I just left him there and never took him back to that house. And then I think, like, within several days after that was when I finally moved out. It was on very short notice. Like I said, I don't even remember what the final straw was because so many things happened, but there was a time when I just knew. I called some movers. I said, hey, can you come tomorrow? And they were like, yeah, and then I literally moved the next day. Moving out into the last house that I lived in was a huge step mentally because, like I said, a big part of why I moved into the first house in Texas in the first place was because I felt like it was the safest option for me because, you know, I am a girl where it's like kind of scary for me to be living alone. So it was very hard, and at the time, even though like all these other things had already happened, I was very hopeful that me and him could be cordial and like eventually like things would be fine, at least publicly, like for stream reasons, that, you know, everyone could just keep streaming like nothing had happened. And, you know, at the time I thought that would be the best thing to do, and I felt like if I, you know, separated myself from him without explaining anything, people that watched us wouldn't understand and would
Ask questions.
attack me. I was yeah, I mean, it ended up happening anyway, so, but yeah.
I'm just listening, I'm paying attention.
After I moved out, we, like I said, still kept in contact. I had hope that somehow things would get better. He would always beg for me to come back, and he would promise therapy and change and like even talk to other people and like kind of present like, oh, I want to change, I want to be better for Emmy or whatever, you know. There was a short period in October where we had broken up because, I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter now. And when that happened, I honestly felt relieved because I was like, okay, finally, it's like on his terms. So that means he'll be satisfied and he'll be able to say it was his choice, and he'll leave me alone. Because whenever I would try to push for it, it just felt like I couldn't like really sever it, if that makes sense. But I mean, obviously, hence me doing this stream, that was not the end of it. A week after this breakup, he asked to come over to my house and talk for closure. He came to my house, and I was crying like crazy because the emotions were just very high, because I was dealing with a lot of major shifts in my life as a result of me attempting to start to try to distance myself from him.
That makes sense.
He, so yeah, we were just talking and I was crying a lot. He started to try to comfort me by hugging me while I was sitting on the couch and holding me really close to him. And when this was happening, we hadn't talked in quite a while, and I'm usually very uncomfortable with being touched a lot by people that I'm not in a relationship with. But I let him hold me while I was crying. And he started kissing me in my face, and I let him do it. I was still sobbing a lot. And then suddenly, he tried to climb on top of me and aggressively shoved his hand down my pants. And I screamed. Yeah. And when I screamed, he jumped off me like a cat, like. And instead of apologizing or checking if I was okay, he said, "I feel weird now. I feel like I did something wrong. I have to go." And he immediately left my house while I was still crying, without checking if I was okay or anything. And at the time, I was still making excuses for him, and I was still afraid of causing trouble for other streamers around us, or like, you know, making things weird for viewers. I know that probably sounds crazy, but like I just felt this pressure, like I had to try to keep things together. If that makes sense.
It's understandable. No, I can see it. I can validate that.
Yeah, I felt like I'd caused trouble for so many other people if I ever said anything bad about him, or if I caused rifts in our friend group or streamer group. I tried to stay on good terms with him and hold everything in, and also I still cared about him a lot, and I still at that point had hope that things would get better and that, you know, he would improve. And he'd also always hammer into me how he never physically abused me because he never hit me, and he would coach me and tell me to tell people or other streamers who were asking about it because they were concerned. He would say, tell them that I never hit you. Make sure that they know that I never hit you. Around the same time, this was during OnlyFans 2, so I guess like December-ish. He would often message me in the middle of my streams and berate me for things like playing the same class as him in WoW because he thought it would make people think that I was better than him. And again, like I said earlier, I felt like I was stuck in a constant loop where I had to perform well to not be thrown away, but if I performed too well, I was gonna be punished. And I actually wanted to show some of those messages because obviously a lot of these things, yeah, I'm not gonna fully read these out because I honestly just don't want to read them out, but I feel like I want to show them to like kind of show what I'm saying. And I am planning to probably post the VOD of this somewhere, so if, you know...
How can I tank as warrior
later,
in dungeons? Emmy is better, Emmy
that's
this.
fine,
I can't
I
have
guess.
anything. You just take. What?
And again, this was all happening while I was live. You can literally go find the stream and see me trying to deal with this while I'm live in the middle of a dungeon, trying to just play the fucking game.
Can't read.
Oh fuck, I think I... Tank Emmy, do it. Let me handle all the hate, the criticism. You're worse than Emmy's. The Emmy is so much better. The people saying you're better in every chat. The comparison says nobody will ever be on my side. Let me deal with it. You have fun. I asked you not to become a tank. You didn't listen. And now it's the classic, what was I supposed to do? I'm not dealing with this. And like you can, like I said, you can go find
I'm trying
the
really hard not
stream.
to laugh. I'm trying to hold it in a little bit.
I was playing Warrior in World of Warcraft in like a level 24 dungeon. It was like Silverpine. Like, it was just like, it wasn't even like, it was like dog shit gameplay, I'm gonna be honest. Like, so, yeah. Yeah, yeah, you can,
Chat, it's a game from the 1900s
later, I suppose.
where you have like 4 buttons. They have like a 4-second cooldown in between. Like, I find it's hard for
like I said
even
before,
top players to understand how we can have an ego about any of this shit. Like, I don't know why.
I was constantly trying so hard to compromise with him because I wanted to be cool and I wanted us to be able to coexist in the same streaming sphere. But I felt like I could never win, and he hated my whole existence. Like, ever since that one stream where I had like a little bit more viewers than him. And he would say that it was my fault that his stream was dying because most of his viewers liked me, and whenever he hit on another girl, they would be confused or not take it seriously because they knew that me and him were together privately. And he said if he would be able to hit on other girls and convince them that it was real, he would get his career back. That was like, started within the last couple of weeks.
So that's the gold content conundrum. It's a real thing.
He started saying terrible things to me about other streamers in Austin. In particular, one specific streamer who, I know there's a lot of people that know he has beef with certain streamers. It was not one of those streamers. It was someone who, to this day, has been nothing but nice to him. He would say horrible things about this person, like about them in their stream, and it was just, it was very hard to listen to. And just in general, he would say horrible things about other streamers in Austin, like, I quote, I hate everyone here. You are all useless to me.
Probably S-Fan.
You're worthless to me because it does nothing for my stream anymore to collab with any of you. And him saying that was the final straw for me. The day that he said that to me about other people was the first day that I ever, for the first time, started to ignore his calls and messages. And because of that, he even threatened to come to my house if I didn't answer. But I did end up calling him back, and I spoke to him, and I basically told him that I felt like I could finally see things for what they were. And he started panicking, and he was super apologetic, and he was saying he didn't want to lose me, which wasn't the first time that he like did something like that and was like, you know, basically begging me not to leave. But that was definitely the most extreme time. And again, like I said, I always had the hope that things would be cordial or that, you know, we could be fine with each other. So I agreed, and we agreed we were going to talk about all of that. We talked about it about a week later, and instead of apologizing for anything, he basically told me that he realized he needed to go to Japan and LA to get his viewership back up, and he was basically too young to focus on friendships and relationships.
Yeah, actually might have been Maya, actually, now I think about it. Probably Maya, now I think about it.
It was, I mean, despite everything, like I said, I still cared about him, so it was still hard. And I mean, it was like a mix of feelings, you know, like I was devastated, but I was also so relieved. But because of the past incidents during like other fights and times I would try to separate myself from him, past incidents during those times of him manipulating me into staying close with him and giving him more chances, sexually assaulting me, the abuse, and just him generally not being a very nice person. After that, I decided that the only solution and way for me to move forward, I made the hard decision, but I know now for sure the right one, was to finally completely cut contact with him. I knew it'd be very hard because our careers and our communities were so intertwined, but I knew that I had to do it and that there was no other choice. So I have not spoken to him since January of this year. It's been 10 months, but I think that's the end. It is unfortunately not. I haven't spoken to him since January of this year. It only took a couple of weeks, but soon the messages started. He has attempted to contact me over 40 times individually this year in individual texts, Discord messages, Instagram DMs, and phone calls. And I'm just gonna show those. And at first, it started simple, be confusing messages or like him expressing he was worried about things. Like, at first it wasn't anything weird.
Hold on, I'll take a screenshot so we can see what else she talks about this stuff. Hold on. I got you guys. No. There's more.
This is not someone who loves or cares about you.
There's more! Oh my god! Who is he talking to? Jesus!
And keep in mind, this is only things that he sent to me. I can't document all the things that people told me that he was saying.
There's no point in screenshotting and then looking at it. It's just like
And just kind of a funny side note, I guess. I would like to highlight this message because doesn't really matter, but I ran it through a ChatGPT checker.
what?
And, all the highlights. Like I said, doesn't really matter. I just thought it was interesting.
Oh my god, bro. I cannot. That's far out.
Yeah.
Chat. Are those guys like accurate at all?
Like I said at first, the messages were just simple things. Like him
I'll
saying he
take
was
that
worried
part with a
about
little bit
things,
a grain of
or
salt then.
saying no one was talking to him, which I don't think was even true at the time. I think he was just saying that to try to guilt me into responding to him. I'm not sure about that, of course. This also extended to in-person interactions because initially I made the mistake of thinking that I only had to cut him off through private communication and, you know, we would be fine going to the same events and parties and such. I also had to start... Hold on, I'm still fucking sick.
Same. Whoever gave everybody the sickness at TwitchCon, I mean, you're a loser.
I made the mistake of thinking that I only had to cut him off through personal, private communication. But I also had to start avoiding going to the same parties or places I was worried he'd be in person. Because...
Which is like impossible in Austin,
This
but
was
yeah.
after he came back from his first trip to Japan. There was a party that I attended several months after I first went into contact with him. I was aware that he would be there, and I thought it'd be fine. I thought it wouldn't be a big deal. I thought I'll just let him have his space. I'll have my space. You know, it's not a big deal. We're adults, right? During this party, I felt like he was following me around and monitoring me, but I thought that I was just being paranoid. I was like, it's probably just in your head. I was hanging out with Nick and Catchy and a couple other friends.
Ew.
And at some point, Nick was like, it's too fucking loud down here. Let's go upstairs. No one's upstairs. Let's just go, you know, chill in a room and like talk where it's not so loud. And I was like, okay. So they, as a group, went upstairs first without me, but it took me a bit longer to get up there because someone like stopped me and was talking to me. And I did feel like, I mean, he was like standing pretty close to that person. I felt like he was watching me, but again, I thought I was just being paranoid. But I went upstairs. I was hanging out with Nick and Catchy and, you know, our other friends. And then about 30 minutes later, the room that we're in, the door opens.
Oh, is that Cheddar?
It's Miz. He opens the door, makes eye contact with me, goes, ooh, and then closes the door and leaves. And I was like, what the fuck? But again, I was still trying my best to, you know, give the benefit of the doubt, like, you know, maybe it's just like an awkward situation or something. But a couple months later, the person that he was hanging out with that night reached out to me privately and was apologizing. And I was like, why? And they're like, I just felt like I had to apologize to you because I felt so bad and so embarrassed of what was going on. Like, yes, he wanted to see what you were doing. He was saying, like, I want to go see what's upstairs, and he was checking every room. And then after he opened the room that you were in with Nick, he closed the door and started laughing, and then he just wanted to talk about, you know, how you guys broke up for the next, like, however many hours of the night. So I was like, wow, okay, that's good to know, I guess.
Yeah, that's pretty creepy, yeah.
The next story,
But I don't know why she's saying that.
that I want to tell
She's creating a profile.
involves what happened to me, Valkyrie, and Cinna earlier this year when we were attacked at the Santa Monica Pier. Because that was obviously... Hold on, let me close all these fucking texts. I don't want to look at them.
Wait.
On my desktop.
I'm not gonna think about anything yet. I'm just gonna let her have her story and just say it.
Where was I?
It's not my brain's going in all the ways, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it happened March 3rd of this year. A lot of people were talking about it, talking about how me, Ray, and Cinna were attacked. Which was not an issue. Like, we had no issue with that. Like, obviously, it's big news. People are going to talk about it. It should be talked about. We had, like, no issues with anyone talking about it and covering it, and that included him. I was fine with that. He joined in on...
We already debunked it.
That whole thing of people going live to talk about it.
As in, like, we
And again, I'd like to remind people at this point, we were already a couple months into me being no contact with him, making it clear I didn't want anything to do with him. And so during this stream, he was covering what happened to me, Ray, and Cinna. He decided that he was going to tell more of my personal stalker stories that I've never personally talked about or shared publicly myself. And one of these stories was one that, like, no one knew at all, and, like, it just felt so shitty because at the time that those things happened, like, you know, all the people that lived in that area together, we all came together and we all kind of decided, and this was heavily pushed by him, we should never talk about this.
Not to give
because,
validation. Yeah.
You know, people are going to be weird. It puts Emmy in more danger, and, you know, it gives people ideas.
It gives people what they
so
want
we're
as
going
well.
to talk about it. But, you know, of course, as soon as there's some big drama that he's not involved in, and he finds a way to, you know, bring up, oh, I was there for something that happened to Emmy, he does it. He was on a stream talking about these personal stories of mine, and I caught wind of it. And by the way, it was also so frustrating not saying anything at this time because the way he told those stories, he kind of framed himself as, like, the hero. He was like, oh, I held the stalker at gunpoint. No. The only person who ever came into contact face-to-face with that stalker before the police came was Bonnie. Bonnie is the person who found that guy outside, went inside, told everyone, called the police. The police came. All Miz did was he stood far away from the front door, behind glass and metal, with a gun. Yeah, I mean, I understand. Still very scary, but why are you acting like if anyone deserves credit for that, it's Bonnie. Like, it's literally stolen valor. I'm so glad I finally get to say that because she is the one who, like, kept everyone in those two houses safe, not him. Anyway, back to the original thing, the Ray and Cinna stuff.
Stolen valor.
So, I was obviously panicking. Like, I just had this horrible thing happen to me the night before. It was, like, huge, like, public, millions of people seeing it. And then my crazy ex-boyfriend is going live talking about more of my personal stuff. And I'm, like, crying, and Cinna and Ray are like, what's wrong? And I tell them, and I'm, like, panicking. I'm like, I need to call so-and-so, I need to call so-and-so, I need to call so-and-so. like these different people that I was like, they can contact him because I did not want to contact him. So, Ray, Cinna, some of me and Miz's mutual business partners, and Asmongold were all messaging him to stop. And by the way, Asmongold told me that he tried to call Miz while he was talking, and it rang 3 times and then hung up, which means that he saw it and he
Press the red button.
just wanted to be able to keep talking because
he red buttoned it.
yeah. Anyway, just a little note. I don't know exactly what like the other people said to him, but Ray and Cinna told me that they were messaging him being like, bro, like stop, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? And he was messaging them, who were also equally as traumatized as me, of course. They had gone through the same thing. Oh, what am I doing wrong? I'm letting people know what, girls go through.
Nah.
Is that your job?
I feel like every streamer has been through this. Like, they know, like, not to give people validation.
Anyway,
because some of them all strive only for
that all happened a couple of months into me being no contact with him. And yeah, he was arguing with Ray and Cinna while they're trying to be like, bro, like, stop, like, you're making it worse. He finished talking about my stuff and then reacted to Cinna and Ray's whole stream where they were crying, addressing their communities, made sure to react to that, and then immediately went offline.
Well, I skipped that part.
So yeah, that was a terrible weekend. I got threatened to be stabbed, and then the next day, my weird ex was going live trying to self-insert so that he could make sure to farm his own clips. After that incident, his attempts to talk to me only ramped up, which I showed those texts. We went back to Japan, and during that trip, he was texting, calling me, trying to call me quite a lot, begging me to take him back. And at the same time, I heard that he was reaching out to quite a few other streamers who know both of us. And he was crying to them about how he wanted to get back together and how he thought someday we would reconnect and eventually get married. I don't think he even meant that, but I hope not. But I assume he did that with the hope that they would relay the messages back to me since I wasn't talking to him. And, I mean, some of them did. I also had a couple other streamers report to me that he would obsessively watch my stream and not in a like, oh, I wonder what Emmy's doing right now way, or like having my stream open. Like, he would be obsessively and attentively hate watching my stream, like watching my stream and just saying horrible things almost every time that I've been live this year. And they tell me that he would want to discuss how he believed I still wanted him. Interesting, considering I never replied. And he would ask other guys if they thought I had slept with anyone this year. They'd be like, I don't fucking know, man. And then they told me he would say stuff like, no, there's no way she's done that. She's not like that. And she's probably waiting for me. Just really fucking gross stuff like that. And a couple of streamers in LA also told me that he was telling people that me and him still talk all the time, but we simply weren't together anymore because I was too mature and I was not ready. I was too immature. But yeah, you could see from the messages I showed. I'm not sure if people can go back and read them. He was begging me to take him back for the majority of this year, which was 7 or 8 months total. And like I said, some of those messages were even, I believe, ChatGPT. Not that it really matters, it's just interesting, right? As of today, it's been about 2 months since he has attempted to contact me directly. I think because about 2 months ago is when he started kind of getting scared that I might have been telling people things. which again, I wasn't going out of my way to do it, but if anyone ever asked me, I wasn't gonna lie to them. I mentioned this at the beginning before I started like fully telling the story. I heard from my friends, other streamers, and my employees that he had cooked up a plot that if I ever tried to talk about him, like about the abuse or anything else, he would try to go live and say that I killed my rabbits. And I was told that he approached several streamers who were around us a lot when we lived together and asked if they would basically back him up, and they refused. Obviously, they're not insane. And even something happened this weekend at TwitchCon. One of my employees told me he went up to them and he threatened them, saying, if Emmy ever tries to talk about me, I will destroy her.
Jesus.
Whatever that means. And within the same night, he also texted one of my best friends, and he would have known that I would have been with this girl. He texted her saying, hey, worried about her, hope she's okay. You know, right after he just said to my employee and other people that he was gonna try to destroy my life. Yeah, all in the same night. And, yeah, that was Saturday, so that pretty much leads us to today. I feel like it's clear I've spent the last year of my life cutting him off and building a new life with people that actually care about me and doing my best to move on peacefully without causing any drama. I did not want to do this. A lot of other creators actually told me that after his other allegations in 2022, if I wasn't the first person to stand up for him and start appearing on his channel again, they do not think that they would have gone back to helping him with his content.
I've heard that.
So I always tried to keep things private, always tried to make things better, had hope that things would get better, you know, tried to be supportive, and my thanks that I got for all of that was abuse and resentment. And for all of 2025,
But when I said that, I got shit on for it. But
harassment and hatred from him and his community, while he was the whole time secretly begging for me to take him back behind the scenes. I've taken a lot of steps already, as I said, it's apparent. I've taken a lot of steps to restructure my life and be a lot more careful about who I help and who I invest my time and my care into. And I'm doing a lot better now, but I felt like this was a necessary stream because, like I said at the very beginning, I have heard that he has done things to other people that aligned with some of my own experiences, so I felt like it would be wrong for me to keep holding on to all this information.
More again?
I know I stayed for way too long, and I thought that I could help, and I unfortunately learned that I couldn't, but I worked really hard to have the life that I have now with my friends, my family, my pets, and my community, and I'm so grateful for how things are now. It was very difficult, but I'm very proud of myself for making the choices that I did to end up where I am now. And
we had already said this way back.
Yeah, that's my story of
somebody forgot
dealing
about that,
with
but it's all good.
Abuse, psychological and domestic abuse, sexual assault, and stalking, and being threatened on if, you know, I ever talked about it.
I didn't cry. You guys are following
this whole time,
clickbait.
it's been
you're dumb.
kind of hidden in plain sight away from hundreds of thousands of people. And, yeah. I know that me saying all of this probably isn't gonna make him or what's left of his community leave me alone, but I'm sorry, voice crack. I know talking about this probably won't make him or sorry, probably won't make him or what remains of his community leave me alone, but I'm at least glad that people will be aware of all of this now, and I won't have to feel like I'm hiding a terrible dark secret anymore. And it's all out there now. And I also want to make it clear that not everyone that I interact with or that I'm friends with knew the extent of the things that were happening. And a lot of streamers didn't really know anything at all, but I mean, like I said before, people aren't stupid. I think it's pretty clear that a lot of people knew that things were happening, and like I said, you have to remember, it's not just me. A lot of people have told me that they have their own, you know, grievances with him.
Guys, it's Austin. It's like there's a lot of gossip and shit. There's like whispers like
it did know about
spreads
this
like crazy.
Thank you for being there for me through all of this and supporting me and cheering me on. And there were a lot of people as well who, even though they didn't know anything, without asking any questions, they still were very kind and supportive, and I will always remember that for the rest of my life. I also want to say, just so people know, that I'm not just trying to like put this out there and then, you know, I am already in the process of filing a restraining order on him in both Texas and California. And I also wanted to say
she could probably get a PRO.
I would not be surprised if he tries to sue me for this stream that I did today and for coming out about him. Not because he thinks that he would win, but for PR reasons, like a slap lawsuit. It'd be interesting if that happened, and I wouldn't be opposed to people finding out more of the truth and things that I didn't even talk about today, and what else he's been lying about. And I'm sure there's also plenty of things that even I don't know about. And yeah, there's more things that I didn't even talk about today, but I'm hoping that now that I have this out, this is the last time I ever have to talk about it. And I can be like, okay, I got it out there. I'm not withholding this anymore. It's out there. And yeah. I guess that's pretty much it. Definitely not how I would have liked to spend my Saturday. I would have loved to
oh, that was traumatizing.
Go to karaoke with my friends.
Not karaoke.
Or something like that instead.
They still go to karaoke?
A lot of people like karaoke.
I love that place. I used to go with them.
Yeah, I think that's it. I'm probably gonna take some time off. I'm not sure. Like, I genuinely have no idea what the response to this all is gonna be like. I really just wanna, like I said,
not the same karaoke as you guys think. That was
do my best to move on from this, because I've already been doing that for a year. Like I said, I feel like that's pretty clear. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for today.
Guys, the thing about viewership, he had already admitted that.
I asked my editor if he would put this on YouTube for if you guys want to look at, you know, any of the things that I shared today. But like I said, all of the streams that I referred to today are public. You can easily find them. Pattern. And all the people that I mentioned today gave me permission to mention them. Except I think I mentioned Mr. Beast, oops, but I mean, he's not involved. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I never thought that I would be doing this stream, so it feels really weird to have done it, and it's over now. Yeah. Well,
I didn't loan him any money.
Now you guys,
that's also incorrect. Stop. You guys are all getting clickbaited every day for no reason.
And all the
I did not loan him that line of money. You didn't stop with that. I did not cry to him. That's also incorrect.
So yeah, thank you guys for
fucking rage baiters,
listening.
Man.
Hopefully I'll be able to keep giving updates on the TwitchCon stuff, but I'm hoping to put this other chapter behind me. And like I said, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I feel very confident that this was the right thing to do.
Guys, I wasn't crying. We were at BJ's. There were
I don't
fans
regret anything.
everywhere. I took like 5 pictures.
Thank you guys.
The fucking waiters kept coming in and
I'm
checking
gonna
on
go
me and
spend time
asking
with my
questions.
friends. And hopefully
It makes
I will
no sense at all.
see you guys all very soon. Thank you for everything.
I watched Mitch Jones tweet. Oh god, I'm gonna lose my mind.
See you guys when I see you.
Yo, me and Mitch Jones are like on okay terms these days, but brother, the man could have stood on business 19,000 times. Okay, like he cannot did it in the end, but listen, I can't. If we go back to the old drama, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. I can't do it. I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna happen. You're not gonna beat me to it. It's not gonna happen. He said Mitch Jones was right. Right about what? Okay. Yo, Mitch Jones in every drama will change stories 20 times. He'll take all sides, every possible angle. Of course he's gonna be right. He said everything possible about every topic. I'm not being a hater. I'm not being a hater. Yo, me and him are on good terms, like I said. Like me and him are chilling. Okay? But that's just what he does when drama happens. It's why he's always, people always look at him in a certain way, because dude, it's his what he does.
Hello,
man.
everyone.
About it a little bit, but I don't want to kind of go and, turn this into like a, continuation. But I can talk about kind of what happened. I guess the first thing I can talk about is the peer, which is the thing that I got mentioned with, which is I was starting my stream, it was the beginning of my stream. I remember I was like, I don't know, like maybe an hour into my stream or something like that. I got a call from Emiru and I was like, what the fuck? And this was like the day after the peer thing had happened. And I saw that Mizkif had gone live earlier in the day. He almost never does that. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, oh, maybe he went live to farm viewers and talk about this, right? But then she called me and she's crying, and Ray and Cinna and one of their managers is there too, and I'm talking to all 4 of them. And this is, I muted the stream, and this is why, by the way, I haven't reacted to any Miz clips in the last like 6 months. I haven't talked about Miz in the last 6 months. I haven't had anything to do with them like a year. This is the reason. And so, if I scroll past every clip, I haven't talked about anything. And so, I call him the first time, and it rings like 2 or 3 times. Nothing happens. Immediately, sorry, it hangs up, and I'm like, okay, well, whatever. I call again, because like, sometimes like, oh, it's just a random call, but like usually if somebody calls you 2 times in a row, it's like, okay, this is serious, right? And so then I call him again, and the rings were like,
this is happening. No, that's not true.
and
Because
then
otherwise, you're the guy who's
7
not.
or 8.
So
like I don't know this happened, right?
You're fake
Obviously,
leaking. You're not getting receipts.
But,
you're fishing for attention. Come on, bro. Don't.
I think he either like, I don't even know if he had the phone, right? But I think that whoever had the phone saw the call and chose to decline it. I think that's what happened. I don't know if that's what happened. So.
We didn't miss anything.
So that's what I think. And so, but then I called him later on, and he said he's freaking out, and I explained, I was like, okay, well, this is why, and this is what happened, and this is the reason, and he's fucking obviously I knew more about this than he thought that I knew with this situation, because Amy had called me and I had to explain it to him, but like I didn't want to involve myself in this either, because like this is like, I knew she was like no contact with him, and at this point pretty much everybody in the org, at least not everybody, but a lot of people were starting to like get this vibe with him. But and this is also another thing, is that a lot of the people that have collaborated with Miz don't know anything about this. They didn't know anything about this. And
True.
It was explicitly hidden as much as possible in order to make sure that nobody knew about it in any capacity by them. because they didn't want any of this to get out at all. And so does like I don't know. I'm not gonna get into the specifics, right?
I only heard late game whispers.
Hidden by who? Well, Miz and Emmy. I mean, Emmy was afraid that if the information got out, and Miz made her afraid if the information got out, that it would negatively affect Miz in multiple ways, and so he didn't want that to happen.
Brother, I never cried.
That's
You're
more
an
of their
idiot.
interpersonal
You're brain
stuff, and
dead.
that's what she said on stream, and so I'm not going to elaborate beyond that. There is, of course, elaboration, but there's, as I said, I'm not going to, this isn't like
Chat.
an encore where I'm going to like further explain why she did or didn't do something.
Chat, you work at
because
BJ's?
it's just that, as I said, I
And take a picture with you?
and I said
Post
at the
it.
beginning, right? I said it,
So I can show the chat.
a while ago. It's like it will be bad, and it's not my story to tell, and I think you guys can see why now. I apologize for two things, for vague posting about it and saying that, and I also apologize for platforming him. Right? I mean, the truth is I couldn't have known. I didn't know any of this whenever I met him. Whenever we started OTK together, I had no idea. And when I did realize, you can see kind of the way that I dealt with it and everything, and it's just like in stream, like this is the reason why I fucking like when Ludwig had that
Chat,
clip
it's true, chat. I didn't know. Chat, a lot of people didn't know.
I was like, yeah, yes, bro, like yes, you shall, right?
Listen, I don't want to leak any
The
secrets.
thing that happened in 2022
But
was kind of like the beginning of the end for me, with like being friends with any streamers or anything like that. And I have like a very small circle now of people
there
I'm
was
close
whispers
with.
about the hidden door.
And is it true he lies about being part of OTK? I'm not going to answer that. It really like, and I just, I would love to answer that, but I'm not going to answer that.
McDonald's hairline really hitting today.
And also, and I think that like, again, with that, there are people that can answer that, and those people are not me. And I will say again that this is not the end. And from things that I've heard, I'm trying to think, like, I don't know. A lot of times I think, and it's like, if I could go back, would I undo all of it? And it's like, there's a huge part of me that feels like I should have, right? I should have never done any of this at all, because it's just led to so much trauma and stress, and like, just, fuck, man, like, you can't foresee things.
Because it's not for some people to tell.
I mean, I live very far away from them. I was very separated from their everyday life. I didn't know any of this, and the time that I did,
And I had escaped.
I
trained
did
him
everything
too.
that I could to, fucking make sure that this stuff didn't get worse, right? And not your fault. Yeah, and also it's really not about me. The truth of the matter is, the irony of all of this is that I've heard Mizkif has done things privately and to other people that have made me look bad, but Mizkif has never actually explicitly done anything really bad to me. Never. He's never really, like, he's made jokes maybe once or twice, but like he's actually never really done anything to me. And so, like, I don't know.
Escaping
Like,
Austin is #1 priority. Always has been it. Even Soda did it. He lives downtown now.
I would say more, right? I would say more, but I just don't really think that I don't really think that it's appropriate for me to say more and elaborate on more. I will talk about the rabbits.
I heard about that.
So Emmy had this fucking rabbit. His name was Kiwi. And this rabbit, you know, rabbits are fucking retarded, right?
They are
Absolutely
pretty
fucking
brain
retarded.
dead. Yeah, they're pretty brain dead.
Well, and why do rabbits have like 50 rabbits a year? Well, it's because a lot of them crash out. And so somehow Kiwi had some sort of neck injury, and he couldn't move or eat or anything at all. And so this rabbit is sitting there, and it's basically like it's basically a potato. It's a furry potato.
And then you have to force feed it with
Emmy
like a
had to
syringe.
leave for some event, and she had to pay like thousands of dollars for ER veterinary services for this little fucking kiwi, this little rabbit, okay?
This little rat. It can't
She
move.
finally gets the rabbit. She finally gets home. The rabbit's still fucked. Like its neck is working. I don't know. Like listen, I don't know like rabbit mechanics. Okay, I don't know how rabbits function. So she takes the rabbit to Steak and Eggs, to the podcast, in a little fucking like a Gucci tote bag. Like, let me make sure I've got it on camera. I don't have my camera. Like a little tote bag, and it's got the little holes in it here, and the rabbit's sitting in there, and she's like hand feeding it. She's hand feeding the rabbit at the same time as doing the podcast. Then after that, we go out to get food. We go to this. It's a Vietnamese place, so we went out to get food, and she's sitting there with the rabbit in the chair next to her, hand feeding the rabbit lettuce from the Vietnamese restaurant because it can't fucking move. So the idea that she hates the rabbits or killed the rabbits or does not care about the rabbits, I have witnessed firsthand, is a lie.
Yeah, I've heard that story in both directions.
Bullshit.
I don't even know. I don't even know anymore.
Getting hand-fed, carried around like he's been reincarnated as Dionysus, the Greek god. But it's a rabbit that can't fucking move. It's a living potato. And I think the rabbit's doing better now. It is. That's the crazy thing. It actually came through. So,
Wait, is that alive?
fucker's still alive, as far as I know.
Really?
I think.
In a wheelchair or something, or what?
So it's just that
What did he do when he's disabled,
total
like-
100% bullshit. And like that's a story that I could say in general about it, just in terms of like my own experience. So.
Well, I mean, how does it move then?
I wonder. So I didn't really know. I knew some of this stuff. Obviously, I didn't know everything, right? And some of it was a shock even to me.
Yeah, I know a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, at what point did you know? There were different points that I knew different things. Does that make sense? So, like, there were some points, like, you know, like I didn't find, it's not like one day somebody just brought me into a room and they were like, okay, here's everything that's ever happened.
Yeah, it's whispers and
it
then they
took time,
stack.
obviously, right? And
Classic good old Austin dramas.
there are, again, like I don't want to go through and, you know, like explain all this stuff, and you know, I don't know, it's just like I knew something was up and you stopped defending him and talking about him.
In Texas. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
It's the
Did
wasteland.
Destiny new tweet? I don't know. What did Destiny say? Like,
You're either radioactive yourself in Austin or live long enough to suffer the effects of radiation. Leave while you still
yeah,
can.
I don't
Leave.
know. But and so it always was bad vibes. I mean, you know, in a way, like there's a part of me that feels kind of responsible in a way, because like I wish I had just known more. If I was able to just know more and be more assertive and, you know, everything. But at the end of the day, I mean, I can't really fucking know everything.
Melinda left. Yeah,
and
true.
I don't think anybody thought it was as bad as it was. And I apologize
Asman
for,
put on the fresh clothes
platforming
for
Miz
this
to the
shit.
extent
When
that I
has
did.
bro ever worn a sweater, Omi?
Not
It was
wrong.
a mistake.
Jesus, true.
I didn't know it at the time, but it was a mistake. So,
Also,
No wonder everyone
the
dropped him.
talking about stalkers is weird. That shit is off the
a
rails.
lot of people,
Stalkers is
obviously
bro,
people talk, right? I've said before, right? It's like, oh wow, why is it such a coincidence
The
that
ones I spoke about are because,
all the
is
people
because
in
other
Austin
people
and
spoke about
also
them. They were
LA don't
already out
talk to
there.
them?
Like,
I think he's also like, there's been a large part of his community that's been trying to like actively downplay and spread misinformation and lie, and especially hurt Emiru. And I think that
I think the viewership thing
really,
is crazy.
60 months.
I hope
all
that
know is
now,
my goat will
after
never do some
seeing the
BSXQCLWW.
receipts and seeing the screenshots
I
and seeing
knew it
the
was
edits
real
and
because of-
everything, I hope you realize who you're
The Maya
defending.
thing back in the days.
I hope you realize that this is what you've been fighting for.
But that shit's so unhealthy.
And-
it is so bad.
Who cares? Play games.
Hey, you're a loser, Busta. You're a loser, Busta.
The amount of like lies and misrepresentations and vicious attacks
Hey,
that she and
XQC, I
other
saw
people
on
that
Twitter,
were
why you
involved in
crying?
the friend group had to endure, and the pressure that they
Yo,
would
he
put
didn't
on
think I cried.
people
I don't know why he said
interact
that.
with him.
Maybe he's trying to make the story more personable. I didn't fucking cry, dude. That's crazy.
was disgraceful. It was parasocial,
The meeting he's talking
disgraceful,
about
embarrassing,
was public.
and pathetic.
Brother,
And I think that
that's crazy. I can't believe
I
anybody
don't
would
know.
believe that. I can say with absolute certainty. I can say with nobody has ever seen me cry.
Let it all out.
Nobody.
Buddy. It's okay.
Okay, except
Sarge.
for that one time where I got so fucked up at the club, I thought I was gonna die.
XQC
Okay, but that's not me though. That's not me though. That's somebody else. That doesn't count. That doesn't count. That is
you're following
completely
him on Instagram.
unrelated.
I don't care about
I
following
heard
people
you
That's the
on
one time.
social
This
media.
Mizkif
Like that's like
guy, is
what
this
what are we
true?
in 8th grade? Is this MySpace? Like I don't care about this.
It's fine to cry.
I'm not gonna go and like performatively. Oh, I'm gonna unfollow somebody ever. Like I don't care about this. Eventually, I'll probably do it. Like that's not what I'm thinking about. Okay. It's not like, oh, I know what I need to think about is which social media accounts do I have that I can still, he's still on.
Brother,
We're
the
here
driving
for
fast
you.
incident,
Video.
I
I don't wanna
have
watch
been in that
anything about
situation.
him. I don't want to
That
watch
shit
anything
gave
about
me
him. I don't want to hear
actual
anything
PTSD.
about him.
What
I
does
don't want to
train
deal
Crazy.
with him.
Train washed? What does train think?
I just
Train
wanna
washed?
move
What
on.
does train think? Train washed?
And
What does
to
train
the extent
think? Train
that
washed?
other people decide to tell their stories,
Brother,
and
I was
especially
with
the
Connor
ones
eats
that I'm aware
pants, dude,
of, I will, as with Emmy,
and he could tell. Oh
be
man, I
there
can't.
for them to support them.
Back in days, it was like, oh dude, let's go
because
to
I've tried my best.
TwitchCon, all three of us,
for all
and he was
these
like,
years.
Sanderson,
I'm
the
not
rabbit.
going in the car. I'm not, guys. I have my own ride.
I have
I'm not
been
going,
perfect.
bro. I'm
I
just
have
saying.
made mistakes, and I
Do
am
you
an
not
asshole.
cry at seeing your hair every day?
I have tried.
Miz was your friend BTW. He was out of the scene
So-
and you brought him back.
What? Oh, shut up. Shut up.
SA is bad
Shut
from
the
Destiny.
fuck up, loser cuck. You're a loser.
Man. He really is that guy, He really knows what to say.
Bro, they both said it. Not a lot of people knew, and what they knew was like very like whispers here and there.
I've tried
I had
to,
escape
like
Austin, little
that's...
buddy.
I don't know, I'm trying to think.
Big boys
And
don't
All I knew was the
cry.
patterns of
Yeah,
behavior and
boys
the
don't
Gonna stand up the
overall
way
thing,
around.
but there was a
Big
lot of
boys
time in
don't
between.
cry.
I mean, what
And,
can you
like, I
do?
know that, like, especially the way that things have looked publicly, it's looked very bad for me. And, again, it's like, it doesn't matter. Like, for me, it's like, oh, wow, some Twitter thing or whatever, but, like, I just, there's a reason.
The crime
why
thing
I said
is
what I said.
fake. It's not real.
So-
It's not fucking
I wonder
real.
why the
Kyle
clean up
W.
today.
Kiwi.
What do you mean? I haven't showered in like a
Brother,
fucking, like a few
Brother,
days. I probably should
I
shower
am
today,
putting it
honestly.
on my life, on my soul.
So-
it's not real.
QCL, can I finally get a welcome to the jungle?
I can't. I don't want to talk about another issue that was happening.
Now you brought him
but
back,
there's
he's
something
your
that was
boy.
going on. Why I was meeting with him? I could not have been
You're
crying.
about
It's
these
not
things to clarify,
possible.
wouldn't you
The new
agree? I would
Halloween
not
update,
agree.
dink donk, dink
Stop
donk,
going
dink
out
donk.
and inquisitioning every other streamer for
I'm
them to
gonna
make a
put
statement
some
about
dirt in
this.
your eye, gonna cry.
Emmy does not want that.
Widespread
I don't
Brother,
want
brother,
that.
let me tell you. When I met with Mizkif, okay, I was dealing with other shit with multiple girls at the time,
people
and
have a
I was
story,
fucking
they can
locked
decide
in
if they want
Billions
at
of years
any
of
given day of
history
the
and we
week,
are alive
anytime.
to see the
I could
downfall of
not have been
Mizkif.
crying. I was so locked in,
Absolute
brother.
cinema.
My eyes were fucking open wide like that. Okay,
W the Titanic,
not
W
possible.
the Titanic, W the Titanic, W the Titanic, W the Titanic.
Do not do that. You're not going to make anything better. If somebody wants to speak out again about it, then that's their prerogative, and trying to bait them and bully them into doing it is unnecessary, and it's counterproductive.
On that night, not this one either.
So,
What? No. Bro, I was in the middle of the
Let me
party
catch
the
up on a couple of
entire
messages.
night. Couldn't have been that one. I was with talking with Caroline Kwan the entire time until the party got canceled because Minx almost fucking died. Okay? Because she got so fucking drunk, she almost fucking died and she had to be carried out in a fucking stretcher. Okay?
what now? I mean, I'll probably just sit here and process this for a little bit, and then
W crybaby.
probably
W
go
toenail.
and you know, play a
W
game and chill out,
manipulator.
right?
Guys, I posted a thing on
Give me some
my
sweet
Insta
tea.
at the time.
Well, here's what's so sad.
It
is
was the
that
street picture, and I said the
it's like
party's
when,
over,
when
and it
you're
was
in a
full of like
relationship
bad
like
ambulances
that,
and
it's
shit.
like you always hope that it's going to get better, and it's like, oh, this is the last time, and it makes you feel like you're the one that's crazy, and the amount of
Yo,
abuse
X, I saw
and
a
everything,
picture of you crying
like
to
it
Miz
can
on
feel
Twitter.
very
that can't be real.
confusing.
I never
and
cried.
if you haven't been either in very close proximity to or in one of these relationships yourself, a lot of it might not make sense. But
El Kyle,
what I would say is that
W
if some
Kiwi.
of these things don't make sense to you or whatever, listen to other people give their testimonies.
I
Listen
can't
to
see.
not about Miz, just in general, and you'll hear the same thing happen.
I can't see.
And everything. No, you can't be a tank in Classic WoW. Then that will make me look bad because I'm a tank in Classic WoW. So how can you be a tank and I'm a
Guys,
tank? No, well, then
Guys, you know, you check once with advice chat. Here's you guys here's some stream advice, so some of you guys might become streamers. Okay.
XQC
This
never
whole
cries.
thing of not being alive at the same time as your significant other is fucking brain dead. Okay. Only morons try to push that. The reality is that if you're never alive at the same time, what happens then? You're live for 8 hours. They're live for 5 or 6, whatever the fuck, right? That's how many times is that in a day? It's what? 18, 20 hours. How much time is left in a day? 4 hours. You're both always exhausted, and you're seeing each other at your worst
Let's
times.
be real, chat.
And you're
That
giving
pic
yourself
was
the
from
worst
the
part of
Imus
yourself
ARC.
every
He
single day.
definitely
That is not healthy. You'll never build a good relationship that way. You're the only times you could ever see each other is at your worst time. That's terrible. That's brain dead. Nobody does that. Anybody that does that is a sicko.
like this that happened at his corporation. As he was an executive at a publishing company for
And if you
like
have
15
any-
years.
It's okay to feel bad about numbers and shit like that, okay? It's not uncommon, okay? But if you are somebody who is prone to have numbers get on your head, don't date people that are part of social media. People that do Instagram, what the fuck, anything that number related, don't. If you cannot take the numbers shit, right? Don't date somebody that is within the numbers sphere. You're gonna fucking hate yourself. What is that about, man? That's crazy.
And so, yeah, I just
Numbers don't affect me. I don't give a fuck. I
these
can do
last
that all
5
day. I don't
years
care.
for me have just been
Fuck would I care?
like, if I can talk about myself for a little bit here.
But then what
you know.
what she said about him, okay, Maya had already said, and Miz had already said that to us deliberately, and even after the fact, I said that on stream, and people said, "Oh, dude, you're weird for saying that." People were mad at me because I had leaked that. Yeah, he was mad when Maya would be live and she'd be pulling good numbers. Everybody knew this, and he even said that to his own stream. People had said that.
everything is good.
That's very unhealthy.
Then things just
I didn't want to go
worse
too hard on
and
it
worse.
back in the
My
days,
mom
but
got sick. And
that's
then
terrible.
I had to start taking care of her all the time. I was missing stream days. Her health got worse, and then she
They
died.
said it themselves, so it's
And
not like some leak that I'm
that was like the
I'm
person I
cooking
was
for.
living
Like,
with
CX
my whole time,
effect.
and I'm still living in her house now. This is in 2021. Then more drama with this shit happens. More fucking just bullshit, and I don't want to discuss any of that because again, it's not my thing to discuss.
Lobby, SCP,
but
lobby, dink donk,
it's just like it got more extreme and worse, and then you know, like then I've had my own dramas, and this is that which is my fault, obviously, but it's still stressful. And I've had other things happen to me privately that I don't ever discuss for multiple reasons. I've had to deal with. You know, breaking up with like long-term girlfriends, other big life changes, you know, shit like that that's happened.
His worst intro.
You know, like
Yo,
health
I don't give a
scares,
shit.
going to
I
the
don't
ER,
care.
like this, you know,
I don't
like
care.
weird
When you
fucking
this was
stuff.
coming, I just wanted to
I'm
watch
fine,
it.
but
okay?
you know, again, it's just
I
it
want to watch
sucks.
it. So
And
it can
then
be opened and closed the
you
same
know,
day.
things
You
are
move
falling
on.
apart.
Otherwise, it's clipping me.
You know, like you have your friends that are like, there's all these like weird social like
Hair
layers
falling out.
to it,
Dude, his hair was always falling
And
out. What? But he was already
especially
balding.
after
Don't blame
like
that.
all
Don't blame
the
his. That's
like
crazy.
2022 drama. Like that's whenever I really kind of just decided to go off and do my own thing because like I couldn't tell what was wrong, but I could tell that something wasn't right, and I didn't want to have anything to do with it anymore. I didn't, and
No, you don't care about streams anymore.
girlfriend's plural.
Yo, shut up,
Can you
moron.
imagine
I care
that?
about, I care
I'm
about streams. I
surprised
don't care
too.
about numbers. Who
And,
cares?
So, and then obviously everything happened with Rich, and
Yo,
you know,
at
like,
the end of the day, the more you care, the more you lose. And even if you win in the numbers game, you lose more than everybody else. That's what it is.
no, this is like me at the same time.
Even if it brings you to
I've
the
been
top,
streaming
you
every
still
single day, no matter
lose.
what, right? Like every one of these situations, I've streamed through it. I've powered through it. You know, my dad's in the hospital. I'm live, and then going to the hospital, taking care of his house. You know, he's at home on chemotherapy, and I'm fucking, you know, like, I don't take care of my own house. I don't give a fuck about my own house, but I'm vacuuming his fucking floors, cleaning his refrigerator out, washing all of his dishes, doing everything that I can so he can live the amount of his life in some degree of fucking dignity.
I
While
think we should off on
this
that.
fucking parasite stories about this bullshit.
Yes. Yeah, I don't make a comparison. It's not a comparison. There's a lot of people that care a lot about numbers, and it reflects on what they do and what they say and how they see others. How they perceive others is how they see themselves. If you ever see somebody talk about numbers, it's usually a reflection of
32
themselves.
months is
Okay?
crazy, missed the
And I hate to bring
3.0
it up.
days back chest.
So when Hassan says, yo, this is happening because of viewer count, no. That's how he sees the world, so I can't convince you otherwise. It's how he perceives the world to be. He said, oh, Schizo's on. Brother, every drama he always says, yo, dude, this is because he's trying to farm some views and whatever. Brother, I was doing that in front of him when I was way behind when I was on Cuban. It's always been the same, man. He only pulls that when he's in a spot where he has to. Come on, bro. I'm done. I mean, I'm not gonna dogpile, okay?
Sadly,
I'll treat it as I've been treating everything recently. Okay. A lot of that within the scope of the character that we know is most definitely true. Most definitely true. There's receipts. There was it. Oh, what's that? Is it dead? But I will let things unfold without dogpiling like a moron and being weird about it. Okay. But yeah, so, some of the stuff, definitely a lot of it, is within the scope of this character. Okay. The Stolen Valor bit was funny though. The Stolen Valor, Jesus Christ, that's crazy. Yeah, Austin at the time was very dangerous. I'm not gonna lie. Well, I'm not gonna lie. It was pretty insane. There was a lot of stalkers, a lot of like people that showed up people's houses or whatever. A bunch of I haven't told you about the day that I actually left Texas or whatever. Oh man, that was crazy. I told you that. I only said it because Nick had said something about it, and they had already leaked it. So I said what was happening. Yo, this is not Stolen Valor, okay? This is not Stolen Valor. Lights down, high ground, aiming downwards, locked and loaded. Nick. I said Nick. Nick, NMP. Like what? Nick. What about it? NMP. What did I say? Oh, you think I just said it? Yeah, I just went, oh, guys. Out of nowhere, I'm about to say a guy's name and just say the word. Yeah, guys, I said it. Really, man? Come on, man. How old are we? Can we just move on with this story? What was I saying? Oh yeah. I remember the night that I actually left Texas and I went to Palm Springs. Okay, in the dark,
Guys,
in the house with everybody.
Don't be
okay?
too mean or he
There was widows coming at the house back to back, locked and fucking loaded, second story, downwards, two old mags, red dot, fucking brother. I was in prone position, aiming at the door. If anybody came in, they were turned into fucking Swiss cheese. I'm telling you, bro. If anybody walked in, it was GG, bro. It was crazy. I don't even understand, bro. We had 10 people show up over and over again throughout the night. It was insane. It was insanity. How could I live there after a night like that? That was it. After that I booked it. The police didn't want the help. They said that under the law they're not allowed to escort us. They're not allowed to camp. They said they literally told us the police themselves, all of them. Even the PD, they said until somebody does something, we can't do it, and we cannot camp your house, and we cannot camp and wait till something happens. We can't do it. And we said, okay, well, I want to leave, and we're scared they're going to be close with their cars, right? They said we're not allowed to escort you either anywhere or drive you anywhere. I said, okay, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Then we had to fucking hold the house like a CS:GO map. That's what I did. That's what I did. I set up on high ground. I was prone for fucking hours, pointing at the fucking front door with the red dot loaded with mags next to me. I was ready to gun some motherfuckers down. Jesus Christ. And that's not so invalid. This is a real story. This is a real story.